everyone. I think we are all here, and so I would like to initiate this really exciting call. Just for letting you know, we are recording this call, so we can always go back and share it with our colleagues in the future. And yes, I'll cut this out. And, everyone is currently muted. I will unmute you, or you can unmute yourself if you ask questions, bring out our question and answer session. Perhaps just very quickly before we start, as we said in our communication, we will have the first 40 minutes, maybe around an hour, around the learning route program, and following that we will discuss about the global gathering, which is also a really relevant, important event that is going to take place very soon. So please do not run away. There will be important communication and discussion to take after this call. And maybe to start, I would really love if Cara could open up and give us a little bit of a sense of why we are doing this and relevant parts of the learning route program in Africa.
Yeah, very much, Cecilia, and it's absolutely fantastic to see so many people on this call. I'm really excited and keen to hear more about how things have gone after the learning exchange. Also, I'm very happy to let you know that we'll be hearing from 3 of our Creativity and Collaboration Award winners and learning a bit more about the kind of work they undertook and the achievements they had as a result of the very small seed fund which they received. So I'm thinking about that, and hopefully you can all hear me as well. We'll also be hearing from our Innovation Award winners as well. So we've got representatives hopefully from Tanzania, Sierra Leone and Ethiopia, and hopefully Malawi, Zimbabwe, or Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Nigeria on the line, and I've seen some of you. And then I think we're going to move on to the rest of the usual advocacy call. I think this is going to be a particularly important call because, as Cecilia said, we have the global gathering coming up in 2 weeks, and these brilliant examples of what can be achieved, I think would be great things for us to all think about doing if we're going to be over there in Abidjan. So I will there and just say a huge thank you for being on the call, and I'm very excited to hear about how things have gone. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. And so we decided to structure this call to give as much space possible to listen from the civil society alliances, how they move forward the learning from a simple face-to-face event to their countries, and how the relevant so achievements and the lessons learned. And I think what I was thinking too is, as an initial part, to give a sense of not too much into the methodological approach, but how which have been the results of this learning route program, and then really listen from the alliances. Really, to start very quickly, I think I'd like to highlight that as we hope that this learning program will inform and will be used for future. We are definitely learning a lot from this learning program, but it also started from learning from these experiences. As you might all know, the Sun Movement implemented the learning route in 2014 in collaboration with Procasur, and the civil society really found that this approach inspiring for a network like ours. So we've decided to establish a collaboration with the Procasur Corporation again, but in this sense to develop for the first very time a civil society learning route program, really tailored based on how we are, on how we work as a civil society, our needs, our expertise, because we really focus, and our main audience was civil society alliances, so strengthen organization and the alliance to address, to really be effective in their contribution to nutrition health, but as well respond to the needs in the ground. Another objective was to ensure cascade learning, so really through member organization up and down until the communities foster regional collaboration. So this was the main objective that I would like to share with you, how we absolutely managed to achieve. And I will go through in a second through numbers and to look at the stories behind those numbers, which perhaps are much more interesting for us when we want to learn from it. But before going through the numbers, maybe you want to just quickly highlight a couple of elements that are been peculiar for this learning program. As I said, it was really built with a Professor Corporation readapting the approach to the civil society network way of working. So we developed face-to-face, both face-to-face and virtual interactions to really build collaboration among alliances. And so while in the first moment we really worked strongly in the country host and leveraging expertise, and from this we will listen from a presentation about what was the impact in the country host. Really worked with the civil society after to ensure that this collaboration that started through a face-to-face meeting continued in time, and as it continued, expanded to many more countries and stakeholders. And we developed with the excuse of smaller words, we established a really effective, competitive or constructive competitive mechanism that fostered collaboration among alliances, knowing more each other, and mutual trust. And it's been really in a kind of interesting way of working that we perhaps will keep using for the future. Because I think the point is really to give the word to representatives from the alliances. I would like to highlight some important areas behind which there are important stories. And when we talk about outreach, we say a massive mobilization of people, massive in the country host, which really led to an impact, as we will listen from Venus, and most significant change. Massive mobilization of stakeholders in the country, of civil society alliances who participated to the face-to-face at home and implement activities. Mass mobilization, it means that the learning and the knowledge and context have been reaching out to many more people and, let's say, inspiring a number of activities. We reached out, even though with a face-to-face 9 countries, with follow-up activities, many more countries joined this collaboration. So it means that while face-to-face really was for 30 people, 35 people, you can see the numbers here are much, much bigger because of the capacity of each single participant to become champion and leveraging much more, getting in touch with member organizations and stimulate the change. What I mentioned before about the country host has been another important element, I think, that we wanted to flag out in terms of numbers, which is about best practices that have been documented through a very participatory approach, so involving many people who have been involved in successful experiences. And as you know, it's good practices as chosen based on the needs of the other countries, what they want to learn. The documentation has been done with many people involved. With same time, they really, let's say, much more aware of how they managed to get there. And then among those people, champions have been identified by the groups. And we, as a civil society network, initiative way of working with champions, in that local champions from community, as well professionals from CEOs and UN, being a mentor and trainer for the participants there. But even though after the learning route, they kept in contact with many other stakeholders to continue sharing those important skills. And the important way of working that we really work out, adapting it from a proper corporation, and that which is really an interesting way of in sustainability and in enabling champions in reaching out many more countries. So satisfying to see how the community of Gisara has been inspiring other countries. Another element I'd like to point out has been the work with innovations, as has been again methodological approach to create very constructive competition, where for a very small amount, civil society were defining action plans to act ideas fostered with face-to-face and apply in their own country. The important element of this is not action plans, but these action plans has been definitely instrumental to create that cascade learning. So that from the individuals who participated, they went back home and had to convince their members, organizations, the NGO, as well as the alliance, that those ideas were strong and valid and useful. So it happened, and this really stimulated a strong cascade learning of important elements from the learning route. And innovative approaches, at least in the three the countries have been awarded with the today. So it will be interesting to find out how these ideas then have been really influencing a much broader alliance approach. So we had kind of its path through long-term intervention, continuation, and perhaps influence well local authorities or national authorities as well. So it's been really taking the path to a longer term effort in a very short time, in 4 months. So very small innovations that really fostered upscale very quickly. Finally, another important number and other important numbers element to stress that we really managed to give thanks to the collaboration is fostering a regional collaboration. So in addition to a regional group that now is already organized with a temple reference, a strategy, clear goals, helps the work on the nutrition budget analysis. One of those is that it's really the mobilization of these participants, which the first time were all together gathering and doing the learning group, so with a call for a regional call, but then continued our efforts and committed themselves to follow collaborative efforts regionally, to being able to reach out regional stakeholders and influence regional advocacy, which is around. But another important element is that we continue to foster this collaboration through multi-country joint collaboration. We call it, we open up for a collaboration award, which as usual has a very small seeding funds, really limited, but it has been an excuse to really create an astonishing collaboration among the civil society alliances and countries, which perhaps didn't even ever work before together in the same type of coordinated way. And as well, collaborated and as well established knowledge transfer from one country to the other one. So identifying expertise that is available in a country and taking that expertise and service provider and getting it for another country. So we are much more confident, even though new institutions are really now put in practice, that leveraging this expertise from one country is absolutely effectful, at least in listening from the intervention from the other countries. We will know more about it. But definitely we can say that for small investment, I would say, economic point of view, we really urged a number of stakeholders, a number of trustful collaborative initiatives that are really lasting in the time. And finally, we can also flag out that many of these actors, you guys, you are all interlinked through the visual, the WhatsApp, the Facebook. So we can create a kind of a very formal and timely way of communicating, where it will take a very short time to ask support each other and engage in collaboration. So I think I don't want to go too much in the detail and more numbers, but I will be happy if we want to go more into the detail later on if you in the question and answer. I think all this has been possible. The power of the results that are really changing in terms of organizational strengthening alliances. All of this has been possible because of so many actors involved and so many different points of view contributing during the entire process. I want to stop here now. I wonder if there is any questions, or maybe the idea was to pass with a small presentation to Rwanda, if online. If not, we will go ahead with Tanzania. So with Sierra Leone. There's a quick one. If not, we can move to Sierra Leone or online. I don't see Rwanda online. Okay. Let's see the chat box. No. Oh, so I don't know, Talia, would you like to tell us a little bit about what's your project? Let me just try to put the slide. I think I lost it. Let me load slide here. Victoria, to walk us through the What You Grow program. Hello? Hello? Victoria, can you hear us?
I'm so sad.
I hear you now.
Where's microphone? Hello?
Victoria, we can hear you. Maybe would you be able to stay a little bit closer to the microphone? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe come a little bit closer to the microphone.
Can you get me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
You can hear us. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Maybe while
Yes, I can hear you.
go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. What is that? Yes. Okay then.
Yes, come.
So, Victoria, I think you might have too many microphones open. There is a lot of background noise. So, would you to just have the one microphone and audio on, and try and start. Okay, maybe while you are trying to fix the audio, before I try to put the different and have only one WebEx open. Maybe while you are fixing that, we could follow a presentation from Ethiopia. I think that, but wait just 1 second. I will here. Yes. Perfect. I think if you go with Ethiopia presentation, and next thing you would be able to activate your microphone while I'm sharing my screen, and you let me know when you want to change slide. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me? Wonderful. Would you like to through the innovation plan and let me know when you want me to change the slides, because I have to use the screen share.
So I can the presentation. Can I proceed?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next page.
Yeah, perfectly. Go ahead.
Thank you for the for the invitation. So I will just start with the background. 2016, the ECSC participated in Africa Learning Route Exchange visit Rwanda and then awarded the innovation plan. This award helped to strengthen the capacity of media professionals, including public relation and communication experts, record and report evidence-based nutrition messages, with a focus on reaching pregnant and lactating women in Ethiopia. So this is a short background of the plan. And the major achievements which are memorable are just put as follows. There are major memorable achievements which we can just reflect in terms of innovation plan. The first one is the plan addressed the knowledge and awareness gap of the media and communication personnel related to nutrition. Crafting and disseminating timely, correct nutrition to the public, while also making the issue a media. The issue is a nutrition issue. The participants of the media award, the innovation plan just developed nutrition-specific and sensitive communication with PR and communication person. So, three memorable achievements of the related to the innovation plan. The first one is just related to the knowledge and awareness gap addressing the awareness gap. The second one is just disseminating and crafting appropriate and correct nutrition message. The third one is developing an action plan, which is just going to be implemented by the PR experts as well as media personnel. The most memorable achievement of our training. The important report is that we just took letter from the trigger. The first one is managing of nutrition specific and sensitive common plans still requires further attention and action by communication, PR and communication experts. Esteeming issues need further attention and action. The first lessons we just learned is there is still the need for refresher training on utility story development and telling, which is for the media and PR experts. Follow-up of mainstreaming of communication is also key. Follow-up. So these are the 3 lessons just learned from the innovation plan or the media trail. My next presentation revolves around the innovation and partnership issue, which is a reflection. There are points we are also seeing partnership issues. One is establishing a media network on nutrition. The work of media on nutrition is also a need for partnership between civil society networks to make nutrition a media agenda. The need for partnership in private and public media for wider coverage and reporting of nutrition. So this one is about partnership on innovation. And my last PowerPoint is about these are my presentation overall. I'm very thankful for this getting this chance for the media synthesis innovation plan. So thank you. If there is a question and any thing to be clarified, I am ready. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Messin, and it's been really interesting to see how very focused on the results. Thank you so much. I think what would be good is if everyone could write down or in the chat box or keep some questions for the question and answer session that we would like to have very interactive would be wonderful. So in the meantime, we can to the different presentations we have. So everyone will have a little bit of time to talk about it. I hope I can mute Victoria. Let me unmute you. So I will unmute you and let me see if now it's working the microphone. So Victoria, can you hear me now?
Hello, I'm using Paul's computer.
Oh, there is a lot of background noise. So I think it might be a bit painful to listen from here. There is a lot of background noise. Now. Yes, perfect now.
Okay. Is it better?
Yes, go ahead. Let's try.
Okay. So Victoria Square presenting from Sierra Leone. I am presenting on the If What You Go innovation plan.
Well, just one moment. So I think there is the audio coming out from another computer in the meantime, and there is a lot of double noise. Could you please mute the audio of the other computer and only use one? Volume, lower the volume.
Is it
Go ahead.
It's better, yeah. Okay. So, If What You Go changes individual beliefs and behaviors of people in Sierra Leone. Inspired by the participation in the Content and Learning Group in Rwanda.
No, sorry. The audio is not okay. While we try to find a way to call you in, maybe we'll try to find a way to call you in. And I was thinking maybe we can go with another presentation. And Schubert, would you...
She can turn off the speaker.
Yeah, I think there are too many speakers on. I agree. Would you like to walk us through this exciting creativity award that you've been leading together with Maui? Hi.
Can you hear me? How are you?
Very well.
Yeah. I'll be presenting to you the co-joint project that we implemented together with our friends in Maui. So indicated on image 1 is the achievement for the capacity building that we did for the civil society organization, national and central province of Zimbabwe. So support of our alliance is the Zimbabwe Civil Society organizations, Scaling Up Nutrition Alliance, and SACOT and Sisona of Malawi. We have trained more than 15 civil society organizations on practical budget analysis and advocacy. Things like taking note of the 2017 national budget. So as a result, the civil society organizations managed to participate in the budget consultations that could take place in this over. So they've managed to demand that, like indicated in the article on image number 1, they have to demand that the budget allocations for the 2018 national budget should at least go beyond, reach or go beyond the Abuja declaration, the Abuja target of 15%. Our views have been captured, and we also hope that they will also reflect in the national budget that we announced this coming December. Also noted that 80% of the budget being channeled towards salary, and 20% goes on the issues. So the civil society organizations have agreed to like the 2018 national budget expenditure to see if more resources are being channeled towards nutrition issues. Then second is an achievement of the media, our engagement with the media. We have managed to sensitize the reports on nutrition, and as a result, we have witnessed an increased number of media coverage on issues of nutrition. Nutrition issues have been widely covered and broadcasted on national TV, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, and our mainstream media. It's shown in the images on to the far right of the slide. We live streamed our project on our Facebook page, Royal Enterprise Church of Zimbabwe, and the Sipsosuna Facebook page, and we have also sent our reach through broadcasting nutrition issues on community stations which are located in National Province of Zimbabwe, and also that this will generate public discourse and interest to nutrition-friendly budget. The third image is the reflection of the achievement for the engagement we did with the junior parliamentarians, the child parliamentarians. We've managed to engage and sensitize 13 engineering in national and central province of Zimbabwe and 15 junior parliamentarians in Zante and Chikwa districts of Malawi on the need to advocate for nutrition budget. So as a result, the junior parliamentarians managed to meet to advance nutrition within their constituencies and to raise motions when they go to the parliament that the government may consider allocating more resources towards nutrition. Reflected in image 3 on the bottom left of the so we try to hold them accountable for their commitment has lobbied for increased nutrition financing in both Zimbabwe and Malawi. We were actually anticipating that they were going to see it, but due to shortage of resources, did not yet sit in the junior parliament. But we are really hopeful that very soon they will meet and also raise those motions in the parliament. Page 4 on the top, on the bottom right, if we take out some of the key takeaways that we have, especially to talk about email 4.1, it's a congratulatory message for one of our junior parliamentarians, particularly Gumbia, who has been selected to join nominees of the 2017 Scaling Up Nutrition Champion Award. She will be attending a global gathering in Abidjan next month. So we have no doubt that she will be inspired by some of the junior parliamentarians to stand for issues that affect children, and in this case, motion. And nomination is also received a wide audience, which attract attention of the policy makers and other key stakeholders to then consider investing in nutrition. We also hope that the attending the gathering also put nutrition issues on the global agenda and give the agenda is hold. Hello. Hello. Yes, hold. So actually, this is in fact the role of the girl child and the role of children in scaling up nutrition is concerned. So it's actually one of the key takeaways that we, and we also learned that the Mandarins doesn't alone, they work with the junior who are more closer to the communities and who work hand in hand with the rural district councils in both countries who are responsible for making local budgets. The budgets with them fit into the national budget. So on going forward, we believe that working with both parliamentarians and the junior councillors who enable us to achieve more in terms of scaling up nutrition. It's shown on the email, clip of an email that shows the interest of the Thoughtful Food Foundation actually feature us on their website and on their partners like the Huffington Post, the Forbes, the Guardian. This will actually also put in recent issues on the global agenda, and given that Thoughtful Food is one of the greatest movements that comprises of more than 5,000 top caliber university students are dedicated to feed 9 billion people by 2050, not only with food but with nutritious food. So Spectre and APA together with us to be featured on their website and together with some of the partners that we have been working with. We have also received an invite by the ZACRAS, Zimbabwe Association of Community Radio Stations, who want to share us to put us and also broadcast through their radio station. And given that the radio stations are close proximity to the community, it will also raise the marginalized communities on the need to demand nutrition-friendly budgets from the government. So those we with our achievements, also key takeaways. And for more information, you can also go to our social media links like the Facebook page for RAISE, SACCOS, Suna, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you very much. Really, we will love to know more about this, and it's been a great initiative between Zimbabwe, Malawi around child parliamentarian outstanding results, already reaching out so much at national, international level, and then mobilizing children long-term plans. This is really great, and actually are learning from you guys. We are keeping our eyes on you to see how to learn this and continue developing more and work more with youth and youth parliamentarians and champions. I think we will perhaps sure there will be more questions for the question and answer. As I said, maybe we keep that discussion a bit later. And I think we could go for listen from Panita's and Faraja's presentation in terms of around the accountability and district innovation plan, and then later on the creativity and collaboration award. So we are alternating these two different competitive initiatives. We put in place innovation plans and creativity and collaboration and awards that have been complementing each other nicely. So I'll give you the ball to you. I'll pass you the ball. Can you? Let's see.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. This is Faraja from Partnership for Nutrition in Tanzania. Is the Sun Civil Society Network. I'll share some of the facts from our innovation plan, that is Accountable District Nutrition Steering Committee. In introduction, the Accountable District Nutrition Steering Committee came from the Learning Route Rwanda 2016, where we that Rwanda has the Nutrition Steering Committee with multi-sectoral, like hub in Tanzania, but it lack the accountability measurement, and there is no clear link between the district level and the sub-district, the village. So, with that, the performance contract used in Rwanda is the same that can be replicated in Tanzania to bring about accountability to the that agreed at the district level steering committees. So it was implemented in Kalambo district, and there are some of the achievement of the plan. First, was a performance contract for the new agreed plan. The innovation plan actually introduced the idea of performance contract as a means to hold the members of steering committee responsible for the agreed plan. But we encountered some of the problem that is this colloquy were more of social party. But the good news is the President of United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu, who is the national nutrition champion, to sign the performance contract with all regional commissioners, specifically for nutrition intervention. And on top of that, the ministry responsible for local government and initiative has taken a step forward. This contract to alter that the district and the level. So by saying so, the problem we encountered that lack of measure to make this performance contract rated at the district level with from the Vice President. I think this is going to happen, and we are looking forward to see that happening. Of the innovation plan that we made it push innovation agenda to the government system through world development committees and committees. Now, according to our policy framework in Tanzania, there is no ward and village steering committee why there were no link between and the sub-district in terms of nutrient coordination. Because of the innovation plan that we implemented in Kasumba Wadi, now the ward and the village now speaking nutrition in their plans. And the other success from the plan is in Tanzania we are implementing the National Multi-Sector Nutrition Action Plan with actors to contribute in its implementation. As part of its implementation, the ministry responsible for local government least have reviewed the DOR for regional council nutrition steering committees. And the one of the requisition that came to DOR is to use the Wadi Health Committees, which is subset of Wadi Development Committees, to cascade nutrition plans to the Wadi level. The plan which is in Kasumba Wadi. So we look at the pilot this to see how nutrition can be coordinated at the Wadi level. Another success in the innovation plan is we had the demand of creation for other councils. We called from other districts, they want to do the same thing. I think they are looking forward to do that with more resources. Also, the innovation plan is a sustainability plan because in Kasumba Ward, where the project was implemented, we created some sort like a soccer cheese and vegetable where people meet and discuss the nutrition. So in the awareness to the plan. Okay, some of the achievement of the plan. Let me go to the lesson plan, which we can. I think one of them was the minimum participation of women, especially in decision making, evidently from the Kasumba Wadi, where there was a minimum. They are very willing in the committee. I think this is one of the things that we should look if we want to push to remember nutrition in our society. This has go in hand in fighting gender inequalities. Another thing that we learned, though this we are more social party, but what we have in the district one, this is all the district committee. So if you take, we eliminate malnutrition from the world level. And the thing that we learned from the innovation plan is find that there is need to speed up, and government has to do more to create, to put more and more community health workers to coordinate nutrition related activities at the one village level. For example, from level we have regional nutrition officers. Then come to the district, we have district nutrition officers. But at the level, in the village level, there are no specialists for nutrition who can coordinate nutrition activities. And the ministers have decided to use the community health workers. So planning to train them so that they can as nutrition specialists for the village levels. I think they're looking forward to see that happen. Let me go to some of the innovation and the partnership from the innovation. I think one of them is that the experience from innovation plan has contributed to the preparation of TOR for the region and the nutrition steering committee. They are working hand in hand with the ministry responsible for regional administrative and the local government. Since we had this before, and it's something that they're planning to do, so we think we are going to be very useful to share experience on that. And now, last but not least, there is a need to scale up the innovation plan to our district and throughout the country as with the collaboration with the dollar, and if the funds will be available, we will do this to make sure that the innovation plan is scaled up throughout the country. That's from Anita. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Faraj. I think same people from Gisagara and Rwanda, and would be so very much proud to know how these expertise travel from a country to your country, how you readapted, and how much learning and innovative approach and successful approach you leveraged. And that's really interesting. Later on, we will also focus a bit on how much from the innovative branch, how much Panita also invested by its own into this initiative. Really interesting. Now, I would really quickly pass the ball to George. So please, everyone, keep your questions. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question later on, and we'll have a nice question and answer session later. Ask the ball now to George, which I think I have your presentation here. And I'll unmute you. Where are you? So walk us through this massive Creativity and Collaboration Award that came out really and opening up many doors for the future. Josh, welcome to the chat. Can you hear me?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Perfect.
Perfect. So, well put, George. Oma is my name, and I share the Sun CSA Alliance in Kenya, but also for East and Southern Africa Network. As I trying to the Sun Alliances in terms of journey that we have had, the achievements that are related to the but also to Sun CSA Alliance in Kenya. Now, we were part of the Creativity Award, Creativity and Collaboration Award. Our interest at the time was to ensure that we can have the capacity of civil society organization to spearhead evidence-based budget advocacy for nutrition initiative. Our major or ultimate objective was to see that there is improved resourcing for nutrition targets, because at the time of applying, we felt nutrition was not well resourced and also basically not well targeted in terms of investment. And this, we thought, one of the best strategy we could adopt was to help society organizations understand the essence of budget analysis, but also budget advocacy within their government, but also looking at other sources of domestic financing for nutrition. One of the ultimate rationale was looking at most of the East and Southern African countries having the same dilemma of having CSOs with limited capacity, especially in budget analysis for nutrition, knowing what are the allocations, what are the investments from all aspects of sources of funding for nutrition that were available for most of the countries that were part of the East Southern Africa. To recognize his honor from Malawi, who was the partner in this call, but also having expanded our proposal and the scope to cover also Panda, Sisna, and Rwanda, including Mali, who unfortunately were not able to attend our training. So that's precisely why some of the achievements that we are so far realizing during our processes of ensuring that the CSOs that are supporting various alliances have the capacity to support, to ensure that there is enough resources, and this because I think for the last 5 years, yes, each and every country has had most of them. I think governments have been very active in the budget. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the achievement of the Commission of Members of Financial Alliances, we are 18 members of from 8 that was conducted in Malawi. This was Kenya, that was conducted, and of course Southern Sudan, the emerging kid on the block, and I'll also talk a little bit about that. So the fact that these CSOs represent the various country alliances were able to emerge and graduate and appreciate that they have a better understanding of how they can now approach budget advocacy from an informed position, that is, after generating evidence, budgets that needs to be allocated, the gaps that are available, and based on research, scientific analysis, because the process that we went through the training were actually we are happy to have an experience is actually a resource that we are this project that is currently in 8 countries that participated in the analysis budget advocacy training. The second achievement was cementing the relationship of partners, especially for the benefit of the East and Southern regional network, because we had only one meeting after being established, and there was a decision that we would continue to have similar meetings, but also ensure that members share into the vision of the network at the regional level, so that we could be able to ensure that there is a massive support for nutrition in all the blocks that were part of the regional network. So having this collaborative creativity and collaborative award ensured that we could cement relationship. And if you could see some of the photos that we have of members believing that the numbers that they brought together could lead not just to enough budgetary allocation, but influence policy at regional level that could enhance or put a lot of pressure to our domestic government to ensure nutrition is prioritized in terms of budget allocation. And it's important to note that before, I think a number of countries to do what jet advocacy is, but that capacity to generate data that could influence change. And therefore, from this, people from the main countries we talked to, we did a budget analysis and we produced a infograph. The infograph, if you look at the presentation, one of them has been how we support those budgets and which are the available that needs to be filled. So when we talk about access to actual how budget allocation we are proposing. In fact, remember in our training, we were talking about at least every country can talk about 5% increase. Of course, if a higher percentage was envisaged, then that would have been the best. But I think a proposal to see that each and every country was going to be one other movement level. Let's mention this. Are for a consultant to do budget analysis for 10 countries in East and South Africa. This is going to be supported by our secretariat, task, and
Joe, I think the connection is a bit low. We can